How can we get an 80s Toyota Corolla to be the same price, if not much more, than a brand new 2022 Toyota Corolla? It's simple, really. Not only is it an amazing drift, track, and even show car if you're into that, but it's part of an amazing anime from the mid-90s. And if you're watching this video, you probably know what the anime is, or maybe you're watching this video to find out what that anime is. But what else would I be talking about other than the Eurobeat joyride of an anime, Initial D? If you've never seen this anime before, you're missing out big time. I don't even really like anime, but I've seen this series at least 4 times because it's just that good. And for a quick explanation of the first few episodes, we'll start off with Initial D's main character, which is Takumi Fujiwara, a high school student with zero interest in cars whatsoever. His dad owns his own tofu shop, and every morning he has to have Takumi drive up Mount Akina in what car? That's right, it's a Toyota Sprinter Terreno GT Apex, the holy grail of Toyota 86s. But anyway, he has to drive up Mount Akina in his dad's 86, delivering tofu to the hotels, but there's a twist on it. His dad puts a cup of water in the car every morning and tells him not to spill it, and if he spills it, that means the tofu is damaged.
And my dad puts a paper cup full of water in my cup holder. Says if I can drive without it spilling, then I won't damage the tofu in back.
Little does he know his dad was doing this to teach him how to drive. His dad had him deliver the tofu since he was 13, and in the first episode, he is 18. That means every day for 5 years, Takumi has driven up Mount Akina with a cup of water in the car, trying not to spill it. He later says that he got so bored delivering tofu on his way back to his house, he would go as fast as possible and would try to get as close to the guardrail as possible, with his best being 1 centimeter.
I had nothing else to do out there, so when I started getting bored with the drive, I'd see how close I could get to the guardrails without touching.
That's insane! Why would you do that?
I wouldn't call it insane. I mean, I've never wrecked, and at my best, I can get as close as about 1 centimeter or so to the guardrail.
Are you for real?
He ends up actually racing Keisuke Takahashi on his way back from a delivery and sends his FDRX-7 straight to fucking Gapplebee's.
Oh, is that an 8.6? You're kidding me!
And this car also has a third of the horsepower of the FD, so keep that one in mind. He wins this accidental race by doing a flawless inertia drift, is what the show calls it, around a corner, blowing Keisuke's mind and causing him to lose focus and spin out.
I knew it! That freaking idiot's going in way too fast! There's no room to slow down. He's going into that guardrail! Whoa! What the hell? Inertia drift?
And also, Keisuke Takahashi is basically, I mean, he was one of the best racers in all of Japan. And him and his brother go around racing like the best racers on each mountain pass and beating all of them. Little does he know, he just got his ass kicked by a kid that doesn't like cars at all. Watching Takumi destroy car after car after car in his 100 horsepower 8.6 made everybody watching want this car, which that and the fact that it's an incredible budget drift car made this highly desirable. There's definitely some purists behind this car as well, just about with anything, and let me tell you, they don't appreciate the LS swapped 8.6s like Driftworks Terreno. Or Joshiroku's 1UZ swapped Terreno, or Joshiroku's K-swapped supercharged 11, or even Formula Drift champion Dai Yoshihara's K20 swapped 11 track car. We also can't forget about Jimmy Oaks' current project car. He's K20 swapping his Terreno. And last but not least, this amazing SR20 swapped 11 coupe. And what can I say? I love my SRs, man. While I don't really agree with the LS swap A6, I do think the 1UZ swap is really cool. And then there's everyone and their mother K-swapping them. But I do think my favorite swap is the SR11. Also, let's not forget about the fact that these cars weigh just barely more than an NA Miata, which was made at about the same time period, which is absolutely ridiculous. These cars cost way more than a Miata though. They're about the same as a brand new Miata, if not even more. With the price of them constantly increasing, the gem of the 86s being the Apex GT model, which is only made in Japan. This is the one everybody wants, but it has a high price tag and its availability isn't great. So people usually settle with the lower trim models and just do swaps. I've seen people swap whole axles to get the LSD and the rear disc brakes, because that's like the main thing that's wrong. And I mean, as you can see, most people are swapping the engine, so the engine doesn't really matter to most people, I would say. I bet you're sitting there saying that there's no way a 40-year-old Corolla sells for as much as a decent FD RX-7, or an M3, or an RS3. Hell, even a rusted R32, or even an Evo. And also a shit ton of other really good cars. I'm not gonna list off all of them, obviously. But let's look at Bring a Trailer. This car sold for $40,000, and it's the highest one that's sold. It was just a GTS model with 112,000 miles and quite a bit of rust. I'm not really quite sure who spent 40K on this 86, because it wasn't good. It was kind of a shitty car, honestly. Like, I would expect it to be more in the $20,000 range. But hey man, whoever bid on this thing, whatever, man. You got yourself an 86, I guess. But then we have this absolute gem, Apex GT, selling for 38,000 Australia. It had 67,000 kilometers and some clean ass Watanabes and no visible rust. This is a way better option than the last one. And then there's a list of A6s being sold from importers, anywhere from 10 to 30K, ranging from coupes to liftback, from Terrenos to 11s, and the 11 being the fixed headlight version. I haven't really explained that yet. This car is definitely up there with price with all the other JDM cars. Maybe not quite as high as a GTR or an NSX, but you know, it's up there with the pretty high level JDM cars. Do you think this car deserves the hype? Do you think Initial D is the reason that the prices are so high, or do you think it's just because the car is an amazing car? And how much are you willing to pay for an AE86 Apex GT with Initial D livery on it? If I had money, I would say quite a bit. But that's where we're going to end this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you did, and if not, please tell me in the comments. But other than that, quit making AE86 prices go up. I really want one. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.